On guard! On guard!
Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw.
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today. I told you, there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Here we go again. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder?
My youthfulness is what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything.
If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay! You promise, right? Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth. Old chum.
The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not? Not too long ago.
Let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, you whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what?
See?
And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well, what I said earlier.
Who puts any weight into things like that?
But now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? All that matters is that man was inside the costume.
Isn't that enough?
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be? That way, no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you were always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony stage show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. And that included the Gem Ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the nickel samurai. As showy as ever.
Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in our testimony that's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. I think I got it. You're saying he was wearing his costume when he stabbed Juan, even though one, that wasn't the cause of death, and 2, the knife has fingerprints. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so, it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon. There's no way he would do something like that. Oh, there's one possibility. Then let's hear a possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had held no intention to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about that? About Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edward's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Absolutely. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent, because he allegedly brought the knife with him. This was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Miss Secreta. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intention to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? I'm right, aren't I? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from the beginning. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over like bees on a hive. Which means and that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course.
To frame...
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Grrr! Witness!
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Pill?
Witness, did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying that you mixed up Mr. Ungard with Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well...
Well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
But...
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Creta, am I correct with this?
The way you think, you're such a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kreda. Maybe, Phoenix, maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? A.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems to me that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is, aha, I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
This manager with the initials AA, are you saying it?
Adrian Andrews, without doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality and irony stuff. Then.
What witness? What in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready.
This is gonna take the wind out of you, youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
That on guard is one devil, evil man. One evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal.
So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action.
Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip.
And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this room once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin cross-examining the witness.
Be careful, the Old Bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Angard is nothing but your average full-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. I mean, why? Why am I even playing this?
That Angard is one evil man.
You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan.
Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss AA. But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies?
What do you know?
I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth.
Honestly, Sonny.
Can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, God will never get me to say touche.
What?
He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal.
A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that God thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. Ungard did any such thing? You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth.
And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something to you. Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got.
Can you show me proof that Ungard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
Can I? No, I don't think so. I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof.
You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. For you, anyway.
I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was gonna capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was gonna make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this!
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that the woman didn't come through that door that night. Huh.
Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Wait,
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
secret information that no one else knows yet. That's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it.
It's a secret. Even if you drill the hole in my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Press further or immediately get evidence? What happens if I press further? If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Etchy Poo, what are you doing? Help me! What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. What? The witness could have gotten information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head.
And he lectures me on reckless blabbering.
As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did the old bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. What? Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, isn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. There has to be something we can catch her on. Yeah, and when I find it, I'm gonna press the heck out of it. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Wait! Okay. That's true, then how do you know the secret information? Huh? Well, it's sure.
It's a secret!
Okay. So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
What are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info. Isn't it? The investigative photographer Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note. No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why.
That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper.
She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself.
On guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had read.
Huh.
Itchy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this one.
Looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Nope. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat?
I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie 1600 camera disappeared on me."
Wait, witness!
What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too. Grr, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Ah, that's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know.
I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said,
Slimebag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures you had taken.
I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
there's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy that I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Well, what does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
The defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. If I can't make a mistake here, there's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Well... anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well... I had to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Right here. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And? What does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you'd care to elaborate. With actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks? You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the car run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not man on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not mad on guard. In that case, who is this photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Well, it can only be one person, right? A.A.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews when the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. On Guard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. On Guard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Creda. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! Looks like this trial is a most unexpected development. Miss Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing the testimony.
Alright, this is it. Thus, it's kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Eck! If I don't get a verdict today, then my...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court.
Now then.
Oh. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. You cannot hear Mr. Adrian Andrews' testimony, sir.
I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue in today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Vince Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. But the court will now take a 10-minute recess. Whew. To be continued.